Whoa, that's me coming at you live from DNHQ in beautiful South Pasadena, California. This is a show we call the Blue Heaven Podcast. You're now home with Dodgers Nation and Jim Beam, but hey, drink responsibly. Guys, what is going on, Dodgers Nation? My name is Clint. You can find me as Real FRG on Twitter and Instagram. That guy across I'll just say the table for me is DMac_LA, Doug McCain in the flesh, wearing his proper Dodgers polo, so you know this is a Dodgers show. Doug, how you doing, my guy? It's a Monday.
I could not be better. The Dodgers, they sweep San Diego. They win their 5th straight series. They won 13 out of 15. This team is rolling, and I think there's a chance they could be even better than that 2022 team. I'm just saying.
Oh, that sounds like a heady topic for later in the show. Guys, let us know where you're representing Dodgers Nation today on this fine Monday. Drop it in the comments. Drop them area codes, all that good stuff, and let us know little things you want to talk about. Things we're going to talk about on this show are going to be the sweep. I'm calling it I'm going to call it a sweep cap because we're going to recap the sweep. So it's a sweep cap
I like that.
of the Padres. We got to do wonder. Are the Padres maybe just a hair overrated? Fun conversation, am I right? Everybody's going to be level-headed about it. Plus, we have Doug's favorite things. He's like Oprah now, guys. He's bringing you everything. Favorite things from the Dodgers and a few things he's not happy about. Plus, looking ahead at this Twin Series, the next couple of games for your Los Angeles Dodgers. Before we get into the show, we got to remind you this is also a podcast, so check us out, iTunes, Spotify, all the spots. Your podcasts are available, and please do subscribe on youtube.com/Dodgers Nation TV, or just do the @Dodgers Nation. I think it's just @Dodgers Nation, but do that. Subscribe, hit the bell, leave a like. Most of you guys, a lot of you guys are subscribed, so we appreciate that. But more really helps out, and thumbs up a video to gets us through some of the tough times when YouTube doesn't want to give us love. But let's get in here. We got Mayo. Wow, it went away, but Mayo was checking in from somewhere. Mayo 1965. That's Mike from Staunton, Virginia. Thanks for hanging out with us. Jack Herrera on Facebook says Dodgers just looking good. DKM says pause. Am I supposed to pause? Did I say something sus? As the kids say?
Bruh. I didn't catch one.
You think you know me, 26 says Dodgers are fine without Cody Bellinger. Yeah, they absolutely are. Michael Correa asks, why isn't Outman playing today? He's out of the lineup today. Probably just a day off, just a blow. We haven't heard what Dave had to say yet, but it's also kind of scuffling a little bit on both sides of the ball, to be honest. So this could just be one of those get him off his feet days. I'm sure Dave will have something Dave-ish to say. Carnivorous Lunar Activity calls it the sweep end.
I love that. The sweep end. It was a great weekend. Like the Dodgers ground crew, they got to go home early because the Dodgers, they did all the sweeping, okay? I mean, I love the fact that they went out there, they took care of business, and the Clayton Kershaw is real. Look, Clint, the baseball gods, they don't like ugly. They saw what's happened since, and they've dominated this Padres team. So, yeah, it was a great sweep end. I was like Homer Simpson sleeping with the meme. I slept very soundly after just another dominant series, really, by this team.
Yeah, they looked good, they played good, they felt good, and honestly, that Sunday game was the best one of them all because it was wall-to-wall Dodgers. Padres looked bad, and that's what you like to see, especially here in LA. Just saying. Find some comments for us, Chief. Joe Mama checking in 402.
Yeah, we got 951 from Riverside. Nick over on YouTube. We got Keith. Padres fans their fan base is comparable to the Edgars today, fake and over their heads. I think that sounds like a sidebar situation. Joe Mama did call the sweep. We got Now Who's Crying, Broom City Baby. That's from Mike Rodriguez over on YouTube. We got Victor who says, hi guys, Rocket from Ensenada, Baja. Thanks for rocking with us. We got DKM. And I got my result, 15 fire takes. He likes to rack up those fire takes, DKM. We got Bernardo over on YouTube. Shout out to 503 Oregon. We got Diane Schroeder, the fairy godmother of the Dodgers Nation live stream. She's in the comments as well. We got Roy Estrado says, Stone called up just in case Kersh can't go tomorrow. That's very interesting. And our condolences to Clayton Kershaw, whose mother passed away.
You know, it's one of those weird things where I realized I've never really thought about we've never seen Kershaw's parents. You know, it's usually him, it's Ellen, it's the kids. But 16 years of seeing this guy, you don't really ever think about like, hey, yeah, you know, the Outmans, but they were all there. Jimmy got his call up. But you didn't really think so much about, hey, we don't see Clayton Kershaw, his mom, his family, his dad had passed away in 2013. But, yeah, condolences to Kershaw. appreciate him for being a dude, making a start tomorrow against the Twins, and then he's going to go out and do what he needs to do with his family and all that. But yeah, it's tough, man. You don't want to see your ace in a bad spot.
Yeah, no, definitely unfortunate. And in Molly Knight's book, The Best Team That Money Can Buy, she talks about how basically his mom went above and beyond, worked multiple jobs around the clock just so Clayton Kershaw could have everything he needed to be able to have success on the diamond. So we know that, Dev, you can't really overstate his impact on Clayton Kershaw's career. So, yeah, I mean, definitely such a really sad thing, especially on the eve of Mother's Day. But, yeah, I'm hoping that he pitches tomorrow in her honor, and I think you're going to see maybe like a Brett Favre Monday Night Football game where he went out after his father passed away and went crazy there against the Raiders. So, yeah, definitely in our thoughts for sure.
Absolutely. Big Kershaw fans here. In case you don't know, devout Christian over here. To change the pace a little bit, bring the vibes up for the gang here in the room. Nando 390 says Padres are the Dylan Brooks of baseball. That works. All right. It's a good comment. It's a quality comment. Anyways, Sarah Morse checking in from the 307. Carnivorous Lunar Activity says Clint D-Mag, yo. We always appreciate it. Fine, yo. Vegas, Roy checking in 702. Originally from the 805, which is a fine beer. And a whole bunch of people in here. Appreciate you guys. Somebody says the Kershaw is real. Joe Mama says the Kershaw is real. Yes. The Padres have been cursed since disrespecting our Ace 305 in the chat. Bunch of people here, and you know what? All these comments, all this reading, all this scrolling, it's really got me sleepy. It's got me tired. I don't know if you have the read in front of you, so I don't know if I'm grabbing the mask or you're wearing it.
I'll grab the mask.
He's gonna wear the
I'm
mask.
down to the read.
He's so sleepy.
I'm very exxhausted, guys. 5 a.m. club.
What is that? Is that a manta? Is that a manta sleep mask?
Oh my goodness.
This guy in this 5 a.m. I thought it was 4 a.m. club. What happened?
Oh my goodness.
What changed?
I pushed it back. Do you know daylight savings, how it works?
Okay. But guys, that looks really comfy. That must be a manta sleep mask. I hear they make the world's best sleep masks and sleep accessories. So if you guys want to be cool like Doug, you can get one of these. Everything that Manta Sleep does is they do it to enable better lives through better sleep. And those folks over there, darn it if they don't work relentlessly to improve and optimize sleep, so you guys can have the energy to live your best life. You know, I'm over here pumping down all these energy drinks when I should be using my Manta mask. So go to mantasleep.com today so you can have a better sleep anytime, anywhere, all that stuff. Manta mask, mantasleep.com. Use our code. We got a code, DN2023, and just do that, and you're going to have a good time. You guys are going to sleep. Let us know. Let us know when you're asleep. I think that's how it works.
Nice little rest. That
was good.
That was the Padres 1-4 going 746. They were us the whole series. I mean,
he brought us back.
Padres team might be a little overrated. Just saying.
Appreciate you guys hanging through.
Overrated.
That's it. I want more.
I have to put the Manta Sleep thing in the comments.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. All right, let's get into the show here, guys. Let's recap. The Dodgers do sweep Diego. They have a 5-1 week, so nobody predicted it from any of us. Did anybody have a 5-1 on the predictions?
And go 5-1?
I did not. I think I went 4-2. Oh, you
Doug,
wrote it down.
It is time for you to take your victory lap.
Victory lap.
You did go 5-1. You did predict that. I wrote it down.
God.
It's not like today. Guys. It's not like his free agency tracker where he clearly photoshopped everything. This one I wrote it down.
Yeah, he did write it down. I appreciate it.
I wrote it down. So
this
my
is
victory lap.
How's it feel to be on top?
Hey, look.
I had 4-2, right?
Yeah, you had 4-2.
Okay.
I had 4-2.
I'm just gonna keep sticking with 4-2 because
the clock is right twice a day, right?
That's fair.
But I feel good about that. Definitely my optimism paid off last week. And I think the way this team has been trending, I think you look at the starting pitching, you look at the relievers, and you look at top to bottom this lineup, they're healthy once again. Yeah. Also, the two heads of the snake, the tip of the spears with Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, they got to go in this week too. So we'll talk about that in a minute. So, yeah, definitely love the fact that you're getting separation in this division. Like we say, you can't win the division in May, but you can't lose it. But also, you can get a nice cushion. That's what they built.
You know, when your team's losing, what does the fan base like to say? They like to say it's still early. When you're winning, all of these games count. Absolutely, every win, because you could 100% lose a division in May if you have a bad stretch. But the Dodgers not having a bad stretch, your Padres are. Dodgers first in the NL West, 3 games as of right at this second, 3 games ahead of the second place Arizona Diamondbacks, 7 games ahead of the San Diego Padres, and the Dodgers have the best record in the National League by a half a game over the Braves. Just the way we drew it up, right?
Just the way we drew it up. And I remember the preview show, a lot of people in the comments, they thought I was crazy to predict 97 wins. They thought that was on the high side.
Yeah.
A lot of pundits, a lot of experts. The sexy pick was the San Diego Padres. But I sat here and I told you that we can talk about the postseason and the regular season. It is a different conversation. This Dodgers team, this organization, when you consider the depth, when you consider the advanced scouting, when you consider everything they do on the margins to help you win ball games, this team has the formula to have success in the regular season, and you're seeing it on display once again. So I'm not surprised at all whatsoever. I thought this team was going to win tons of games, but at this point, they're on pace to win 102 games. So kind of begs the question with the way they're making it look, is this team, did people underestimate this Dodger team? And I think when you look up and down this lineup, you're getting some of the best out of some of these guys. I think the young talent has really emerged too. And for me, I'm just looking at starting pitching. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, I think to me, that is really where it starts in it, because the Dodgers, they've won 13 of their last 15 games. And the first 26 games of the season, the starters, they had a 5.18. They had a 4.42 ERA. That was good for 15th. The bullpen had a 5.18 ERA. The last 15 games, they have a 2.49 ERA. That's second all of Major League Baseball. The starters a 2.63 ERA. So that is what you point to. The offense is going to be fine. This team, when the starting pitching is right, they're going to win tons of games, and that is why they won 13 of their last 15 games.
And those numbers, with the slightly inflated, really bad outing on Monday in Milwaukee, where the Dodgers kind of had that trap game. But Mr. Cody, DJ producer Cody, in the stream, what you got for me, Chief?
I got a super chat.
Super chat.
I'm also, it's a little early on the show, but I'm going to make this the Hornitos shot taker.
Let's go.
How did you know? That's what I have here. This is a Hornitos tequila seltzer. It's lime, like your mom. I don't know what that means.
So I'm going to make this the Hornitos shot taker. Comment of the show. Noah Ortega, 499, said, Woman Chado got burnt going 0 for 11. Just because they spend money doesn't mean they're the Padre of the house. Mookie is the Padre of the Madres.
That's solid. That's
a solid comment.
Wow.
Right, shout out to you, Noah Ortega.
Ortega. Them Noahs are strong, except for Syndergaard.
Yeah.
It's good. I don't know if you guys saw it. So the Padres are kind of melting down right now. There's definitely some different viewpoints within that clubhouse. You got somebody like Joe Musgrove, all-star pitcher, and he's pissed. He's saying, he's tired of hearing, to quote him and get the button right, he's tired of hearing about that shit, about the Dodgers being the dragon or whatever, about them being so good the Padres can't beat them. It's like, thank you. Right on time. There's no more cursing. I fucking promise. Musgrove told reporters, it's like, we feel like we have a better team than them. We're just not playing to our capabilities. And of course, bringing down to we beat them before, but he says, I think as a group in here, we got to stop talking about these guys like they're an unbeatable force. And I do think, they kind of, not going to say it, but they put the Dodgers on a pedestal in a way. And I really liked what Dontrell Willis said over the weekend. And I know you saw it. Maybe you guys didn't see it, but D-Train on Fox essentially said, like, the Pods, they kind of eat, sleep, breathe Dodgers, and then that's all they care about. It's just beating the Dodgers, and we saw that last year, or at least he said he saw that last year. They beat the Dodgers in the gentleman's sweep there in the NLDS, and then they were very flat for the most part against the Phillies. You mentioned, is it an overrated team? What's the deal with the San Diego club? And before we get more into the Dodgers just being good and proving some haters or detractors wrong, what the hell is going on in San Diego?
Yeah, I think the bottom line really is that the offense just has underperformed. And when you put all your chips into that 1 through 4 and they're not having success, the bottom of your lineup is just not able to pick up the slack. This Padres team has scored 2 runs or less 18 times this season. That's the same amount as the Oakland A's. And the Oakland A's payroll is about $230 million less. So, yeah, I mean, you look at guys like Manny Machado, who is really struggling of late. He's like 19% below league average. Last year, he got off to an MVP start. So Manny Machado, he's gotten off to a slow start. He has not looked like that elite bat that we saw last season. Juan Soto, he was struggling through the first part of the season. He's really gotten it going. Fernando Tatis Jr., he definitely has performed well. He's hitting. Xander Bogaerts, he's slumped a little bit after a hot start. So really, when you put all the pressure on those guys to perform and you're not getting contributions from Nelson Cruz and Hassan Kim, sometimes he comes through, sometimes he doesn't. Jake Cronenworth, he's gone off to a slow start. There's just not a lot of margin for error. They just put too much on those guys to perform, and when they're not, they have a problem winning games. The runners in scoring position, they're one of the worst in the league, and this is supposed to be a juggernaut. This is supposed to be the second coming of the murderous Rose Yankees, and we just haven't seen that of yet. I do want to preface this by saying, though, it is extremely early. Yeah. I do expect them to get hot. They're just too talented of a group of hitters to not be able to go out there and get on a hot streak. I do think that's coming, but I still think that even when they're at their best, that the bottom of the lineup leaves more to be desired, and I still think that that's something that's going to come back to bite them later on.
I mean, we saw this with the 21 Dodgers. They had the problems. They had that awful May. Things were falling apart. Things were so dire at one point. They went out and signed Albert Pujols and were like, what the hell are they doing? It turned out to work. But yeah, it feels like maybe too many people in that club, in that Padres clubhouse, and I agree. They're going to figure it out. They're going to piece it together. I agree with what you're saying, and I agree with what Manny Machado is saying here, what I'm about to kind of talk about. But Manny mentioned, look at the back of the baseball cards of the players in here. We got dudes with 7 years in the league. We got future Hall of Famers. We have some guys that are going to do it. It's like we want to win. Yeah, we're pressing for sure. We want to win an effing game. But you got to trust the process and be good days, bad days, bad months, good months, and all that. Just keep playing baseball, and it's going to figure itself out. I mean, putting myself in a fan shoe, if I was a Padres fan, I would not enjoy that. I would want to see a little bit more out of it. Manny hasn't seemed very Manny this year. Maybe I don't know what his deal is. Maybe now he's got that money. He's got to get some fresh veneers, whatever it is. Lost the veneer challenge in LA and San Diego. I don't know what's going on with that, but it's a broken looking club at the moment, and it makes the Dodgers look that much better.
Yeah, I think the guys are just pressing. I think that them not having Tatis at the beginning of the year definitely impacted their cohesion and camaraderie of that group. I think had Tatis been ready to go, had he not been serving that suspension, they'd be a little better off. And I think, too, look, Soto, he's been hitting the ball hard. He's been performing well. He's going to come back to life. But Manny Machado is a guy that, look, we've seen him throughout his career be streaky. I think it came to a surprise how consistent he was at the start of last season. I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that, he signed that big deal. Yes, we know he is Manny Machado at times, but I don't think it is that. I think that, look, sometimes this league, I mean, guys go through their ups and downs, their peaks and valleys, and right now he just has an extended slump. And look, he's 19% below league average. I mean, that is pretty bad for a guy that you just re-signed to that big deal. So they need more production from them. But I think if you look at this Padres team, I think you look at what the Dodgers have done throughout the years and developing guys. I mean, yes, you have Freddie Freeman. Yes, you have Mookie Betts. Yes, you have some of these guys, but also look at the young talent that's emerged, and Miguel Vargas and James Outman. Look at Will Smith, who is a homegrown talent that has stepped up. You can't do it with just free agent signings and trades. You have to be able to develop your own talent, or else it's going to be short-lived. Either you're not going to have sustainable winning at all, or you're just going to have to ride your horses, and when your horses aren't performing, you're going to lose a lot of games. So, yeah, I don't know why this offense is struggling as much as it is, but I hope it continues.
Damn straight. Are the Dodgers going to run away with this NL West?
In my opinion, look, I think this next 20-game stretch where you have all these games against AL opponents. You play some tough teams, the Rays, the Braves, the Yankees come to town. We know the Yankees are pretty mid this season, but we know they always play the Dodgers well. If you can get through this next 20 to 25 games and still have a 7, 8, or 9 game cushion, I do think there's a universe where the Dodgers, they coast to another division title because this team's bullpen has figured things out, they're still going to get better. You still have Hudson that could return by the end of May. I think he's not really in sight. I mean, it's going to be closer into July possibly.
July, yeah.
And also, look, I think Reyes is a guy that can come back, gives you some firepower. I also think, too, they're going to address some needs and try to upgrade anywhere they can. So I definitely think that the way this team's playing right now, Mookie still looks like he's in his prime. Freddie Freeman, for some reason, quietly, Freddie Freeman had one of his best weeks. I mean, he was really the player of the week for the Dodgers. If you look at it, he was a player of this series against the Padres. He ends up going 5 for 10. And he had that home run, 3 RBIs. Mookie Betts went 3 for 9 against his Padres team. So when you have two of the, like Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman, those are two top 5 to 10 players that are both performing at the highest level right now. When you have that throughout the course of the season, and you also, too, you're not going to see Mookie and Freddie laughing like that in the dugout. From a culture standpoint, this team is very businesslike, and it works in the regular season because you do stay even keel and you are able to go out there and win the game. So I do anticipate this team winning the division. I know I'm pretty much one of the only people here that picked the Dodgers to actually win the division.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And I'm not going to double down on that, but this team, death taxes and winning the NL West. Okay, it's the NL West and the rest, and the Dodgers, they're the team to beat, and I definitely see them winning this division by 3 to 5 games.
We want your guys' thoughts on the Dodgers as we stand right now, right smack dab middle of May. So we'll get into the comments in a second, but I was gonna, essentially call myself out because we look at I guess we'll say the lifeblood of the, I don't know. We look at the lifeline of this show over the 2023 calendar year. I was mid on the Dodgers. I was high on the Dodgers, and then as spring training started coming together, when you're realizing this is what they have, I got really down on them. I was like, there's some pieces that just don't make sense. And I stand behind that. There are still some pieces that don't make sense on this roster, but guys are hitting, guys are figuring things out. Hey, we could look at David Peralta since May is hitting over 300. Trace Thompson, sorry. They're not going to play. I don't understand. I still just cannot understand why they do not play him against right-handed pitching if they want him to regain confidence or consciousness at the plate or whatever. But he doesn't fit the need of the team on the roster, so let him go play somewhere else, guys. What they're doing to him just seems cruel and inhumane. But, there was just some things that were a little questionable, I guess we'll say, about the roster. And I think one of the big things that has worked well is, there's been a few hot streaks in there. Before the baby, Max Muncy was carrying this team. You got steady everyday Will Smith, who really is the number 1 catcher in baseball right now. If he didn't miss whatever it was, 13 games with a concussion, he would be right there at the top. Shout out MLB Network. His Team USA manager, by the way, Mark DeRosa, putting together a nice package on him this morning on the network, giving him the love that he deserves, and looking at the evolution of Will Smith from when he was drafted, when he was blue chipper out of Kentucky or out of Louisville, to where he's at now. The changes. Another shout out to Justin Turner. I think JT played a lot of part in making Will Smith the guy he is. But that guy stepping up and being able to be a legitimate number 3 hitter in a major league lineup. When they drafted him, you didn't see that coming, and I don't think this lineup would be where it's at without him. And then you throw in dudes doing other parts, whether it's Miggy Vargas having a big game or James Outman throwing in some big games in there. Rojas is, like we said last week, is playing better. It's a good-looking ball club. It found its way. And what do we say, and what do we try to not say all the time, but what do we always come back to saying as a fan base? Trust in Friedman.
They're selling. You were basically saying
selling.
You were selling.
Yes. Thank you.
Nice.
Did you have anything else?
No. That's all I
okay.
wanted to
I just
say.
wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no, I think, look, Will Smith, he's not going to ever.
Is it approved? No.
Is that Is that a proper use of the word selling?
I'm selling. I just want to make sure. I trust Noel's opinion.
You don't know
Yeah.
how to use the word selling.
I'm working on it.
He's
yeah.
green.
You're selling on the word selling.
The Padres video social media team sold
Yeah, there you go.
when they did the Kershaw
that-
thing. Because now Kershaw's not crying. The Padres are crying. The whole organization's crying because they're flailing. But
All right,
yeah.
let's bring in some comments here, not comics, but comments. Carl says Thompson can sell Dodger dogs. A little rude, but maybe also I'm okay with that one. Roy Estrada says send Thompson down, maybe bring up a prospect. Too many good ones to pick from. Couple guys are knocking on the door. I think we're talking more about them in a bit, right? We're talking about the kids getting called up to AAA or getting the promotion. Unless we want to talk about them a bit right now.
I mean, yeah, you can definitely see the wheels in motion. I think yesterday you saw Trace Thompson against a lefty not in the lineup, and he's pretty much been in the lineup against lefties, not every single game, but for a good vast majority of the games. And it's starting to indicate to me that, yeah, the time is coming to an end for him with the Dodgers. I mean, how much longer are they going to give him? When are they going to, I think, kind of rip the Band-Aid off, so to speak? I think that time is coming. And then you look at them promoting Johnny DeLuca. You look at them promoting Andy Pages, two guys who can play the outfield, two guys that can rake against left-handed pitching. And I specifically like Johnny DeLuca because, one, he's
Hold on. I know we're talking more about that in a little bit. So I'm blue ballsing everybody right now to make them wait for more Trace thoughts and more thoughts about what could be coming, because I want to dig into some comments here.
Let's do it.
We tend to be leaving some comments on the table. We're trying to be better about it, but we just we love talking. Get in the zone here, gang. You know how it goes. Let's see. I'm seeing people calling for a Marcus Semien trade. That ain't gonna happen. Dudes were owed a lot of money, and
I get
this is the
zero chance of that.
This is the conductor of the Miguel Vargas train. He's going nowhere.
Yeah, I don't know why Marcus Semien won from a financial flexibility standpoint. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. But yeah, I mean, definitely is a good name. I mean, Semien signed a 7-year, was it $175 million deal? So
Yeah, lots of money. By the way, I did say it wrong. It's the same sentiment, but Lat's the name. I guess Lat's the name. Says it's actually in Friedman we trust. I said trust in Friedman. Listen, there's two different ways to poop. I'm just saying.
I don't trust anyone.
Two different ways.
I respect Andrew Friedman wholeheartedly. I definitely trust a lot of his moves, but I also think, too, if you're not going to question some things that he does, I mean, I like to look at this from a critical-minded perspective. I don't want to agree with everything that he does, but I think the reality with Andrew Friedman is what he does better than most GMs is he thinks big picture, he thinks long-term. He's not going to go order 66 like A.J. Preller, and he's basically like a Bitcoin investor.
Yeah.
That's chain smoking and doing cocaine and just making all these crazy trades, whereas Andrew Friedman's like old money, right? He's like the guy that owns Half Row Rodeo Drive, and he likes to watch his money accumulate. So, yeah, I think he's definitely one of the best in the game, but it's not like he's batting 1,000 either, though.
Shock.
Yeah.
Gasp. Oh.
Yeah.
Friend
You
of the
don't trust
network.
your mom? You said you don't trust anybody.
I don't trust anyone.
No, I mean, it's fair take.
I look both ways when I'm walking down a one-way street.
I really wanted to see. I really wanted to see him.
Selling.
I wanted to see him flounder just a hair.
No.
I figured that bit of silence would make him flounder. We had Grumpy 45 Dino says the Padres eat corn the long way. Hey, and Jay says Mookie hits bombs the long way. Dropping bombs.
Like that. That's a comment of the day.
Alexander Rose says Padres stink. That's what's in.
Doom, doo, doo, doom,
I
doom.
agree. Yeah, remember that?
Padres going down
To the yellow and brown.
well, that doesn't
That's
make any
wait.
sense. Yeah.
Phillies going down the yellow and brown. That's what's in.
Manny's.
I don't know, man. It's a really terrible. Kim says the Padres poked the wrong bear. 100% agree on that one. Hepatitis C you later. Talking about Corey Seager. He's my favorite. It's a shame that he was always injured. He is injured right now. He's got that annual hamstring thing he tends to get. Rebecca agrees. I definitely blue balled y'all, but sorry. I wanted to make sure we stuck on the script for a tighter segment that we can drop later on. Just dropping facts. You're bringing my facts to the fight here, guys.
There we go.
I'm just saying. What else we got? You got any comments before we move on a bit there, Chief?
You can trust me, Doug, Deborah Young. I can always trust you to tune in from Florida. Always appreciate you rocking with us. We got Rebecca Michelle. I hope
knows where people
Astros
live.
get nothing. We got shocker. GM isn't perfect. Yeah, hepatitis. See you later. Yeah, no GM is going to be perfect.
Shocked.
No GM is going to. Sometimes you have to take risks. Look, like A Tribe Called Quest said, one of my favorite songs. Scare money don't make none, right? And sometimes you definitely have to take those risks. But yeah,
dropping bars here, bro.
I mean, if you're going to draft general managers, if you're going to draft presidents of baseball operations, he would be the top pick. He would be the number one pick. And I think more often than not, he definitely is right for sure.
They find a way. They find a way to put together some hella good rosters, as we say. And you too can put together a hella good roster if I had the ad read next to me. But I'm gonna go grab it. I'll be right back. You can talk amongst your friends.
All right. So we got. Great ad read here.
I didn't grab the paper, guys, but I wanted you to know that MLB is 100% in full swing right now, and my bookie is going to be your one-stop shop for all your betting needs with a wide range of betting options, including money lines, run lines, totals, futures. Our friends at MyBookie give you plenty of ways to bet on your favorite teams and players. You can also take advantage of brand new MyBookie Money Bag, which gives you the chance to secure a bet on your favorite team or player at insanely boosted odds. You guys like boosted odds? Everybody likes boosted odds. Sign up today at MyBookie. Use our promo code DodgersNation to secure a first deposit bonus up to $1,000. It's simple. You're going to deposit $200. You're going to play with $300. That's free money. Just use our promo code DodgersNation. So if you're a baseball fan like us, looking to add even more excitement to the game, look no further than MyBookie. Sign up now and get ready to experience the thrill of baseball betting like never before. With MyBookie, you can bet anywhere, anytime, anything, all the time, all the words. MyBookie, do the thing. Dodgers Nation promo code. Thank you.
There we go.
It was over there, guys. I stuck the landing.
Definitely did.
3 out of 5.
Absolute crush job there.
All right, what else you got, Chief?
We got people debating who's the best GM in baseball. We got
that's a good one.
That's definitely a good one. Definitely a good one. But we got
hepatitis C is Preller.
Hepatitis C,
sure.
yeah. I think someone said Preller's number 1. Hey, Preller, 0 rings. So I think too. I think he's also in kind of a work relationship with Seidler. It's kind of, he gets the green light to do certain things. We got John Jordan says, so is there any reason why the Dodgers can't bring up Fiducia to replace Barnes? Well, the easy answer to that one is, one, Austin Barnes is going to be a catcher on this roster as long as Clayton Kershaw is on this roster. And also, too, that would absolutely shake up this clubhouse. I'll tell you that 100%. If you're ever inside that clubhouse, he has a lot of gravity. He has a lot of weight, has a lot of respect. One of the most respected guys in that clubhouse. Yeah. And look, he is not a guy that's paid to be Will Smith, right? He's not a guy that's paid to be an offensive powerhouse. He's there to develop pitchers, to call a good game, to get that strike at the bottom of the zone. And look, every now and then you're going to see him get clutch base hits. Not like he didn't have a hit in the Phillies series. Not like he's had some timely hits this season. Just he always takes the bad brunt of it when he's not. But Hunter Fiducia is definitely balling. He made that adjustment, and I think he's a guy that definitely should get an opportunity for sure. But I think too is you don't want to bring him up here.
Yeah, you don't.
He needs at bats, right?
He's not going to be called up to play once a week.
Yeah, that's not going to help anyway.
Move him anywhere else. Where are they going to put him? You're not going to take Max out of the lineup. You're not going to take Freddie out of the lineup. You're not going to force some catcher who's never played outfield to try to play outfield. Leave him where he belongs, and you leave him getting at bats and building up that prospect trade credit, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's the thing too. But the interesting thing about Fiducia is look, he's 26 years old, right? He's a little on the older side, so. Elderly. But yeah, he is absolutely balling this year. It's a fun player, and yeah, hopefully he gets an opportunity. 973 OPS down the PCL, and a very offensive happy league. But yeah, I think for now, you're only going to see him if there's significant injuries to this team. But this catcher situation, as long as these guys are healthy, it's a Will Smith, Austin Barnes show.
And Barnes is a dude who helps out Will a lot, He's essentially a coach in his own way. He's a backup Danny Lehman for the type of dude, or that dude who does the game planning, does his scouting. He knows these teams front and back that they are about to go play. But we're going to switch gears.
He does have a -7 WRC, though, which is pretty terrible.
It's a little rough. He's definitely not additive. But just look at him as a pitcher, and we're old school here. We're going to switch gears, though, gang, and we're going to go to Cody. Because I hear there's a point. We're totally ready.
Let's go.
My bad.
Yeah.
I was on the run of show. We have Necron99 Sam, aka
Sam.
$5. He said Bellinger 2 for his last 35. He's back.
Wow.
Oh, Belly's bad again. Huh?
Yeah, he's started to slump a little bit.
Well, you know what happens when you have kids.
Opposite of dad's strength. Look, the thing about Cody Bellinger is he's become more of a contact hitter, and that's kind of how he's had success. When he was actually performing well, when he was actually able to get his bat on the ball early in the year, you saw less hard contact, and it was clear he wasn't going to be the former version of Cody Bellinger. So, yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I definitely think you compare this team to last year's team. There are some upgrades along the margins, and, yeah, you know he was going to come back down to earth. And, yeah, I think he's just a different hitter these days.
It's a fun run while it happened. Doug, it's time. I want to know, what are Doug's favorite and unfavorite things about the Dodgers right now?
So my first favorite thing, I have to start with the Catman.
Tell me, Oprah. It's Catman.
The Catman. I mean, I think Tony Gonsolin, a lot of people wondered, was last year a fluke, that All-Star game appearance? Is he going to be a guy that is more of a number 4, number 5 starter? Or is he going to be the guy that had a 2.16 ERA, a guy that before he got injured was leading the National League in ERA? Well, first 2 starts, he has looked really good. No earned runs in 11 innings pitched. The fastball velo was up yesterday. He went 5 innings, allowed no earned runs, had 6 strikeouts. So, yeah, the start against the Brewers, he was solid as well. I think one thing I love about him is he's going out there and he's looking like the guy he was last season, but I think the velo is a little stronger now. I think the way he knows how to pitch, and I'm not comparing him to Clayton Kershaw, but when you see Clayton Kershaw go out there, he knows exactly what his attack plan is, right?
Yes.
You see slider, you see fastball location, you see curveball. But I think with Tony Gonsolin, he's gotten so comfortable in his mix, and he's just going out there and executing that we know what a solid Tony Gonsolin start looks like now. And as long as he's pounding the zone and he's not nibbling, this is a guy that is going to be a rotational piece that takes this rotation to a whole nother level, because I think Dustin May is ascending. I think Julio Urias is looking like the Urias again. This is the best that Clayton Kershaw's looked in years. That's 4 guys that you can trust to go out there and perform. So I'm very high on that. I mean, what were your thoughts on Tony Gonsolin's outing and how he's looked so far, Clint?
Tony's looked like the guy we saw for the most part of last year. He's attacking. The velo's been there, like you mentioned, a bit more. That it was up and down at points last year. He spoke, or he worked in the offseason on adding some strength, adding some man strength. Now just turned 29 on Sunday, by the way. Happy birthday, Catman. Happy birthday, James Outman turns 26. Of course, you already knew that.
Yes, sir.
F it, happy birthday, James Outman highlights. But
let's go.
The fact that this is a dude you can conceivably call your number 4, number 5 guy, that's got to be scary and debilitating for other teams. He's just kind of going out there effing around, I feel like, but in the right way. He knows he has the stuff to get these guys out. He's throwing as hard. I think he mentioned it yesterday. He's throwing as hard as he has since his rookie year, when he used to hump the ball up there, 96, 97 regularly. He's looking good. He's looking nasty. He's looking like he's on the prowl. Meow.
Yeah. Meow. The cat is becoming a lion this year. I think Tony Gonsolin is showing the world that last year wasn't a fluke. And last year, yesterday, that fastball topped out at 95 miles per hour. And like I said, he knows his mix: fastball, splitter, changeup, curveball. I mean, the way he works that split change, such a unique pitch. The only thing for him is, can he stay healthy? I mean, I think he's looked so much better than I expected right away, that he learned so much from last season, and he's just going out there and executing. Another thing I was looking at, too, was the BABIP was the lowest in the league for what he qualified for. And I was wondering, with the ball in play more, would he be able to still have success? That hasn't been a problem. And he's still inducing soft contact. He's still missing bats. And, yeah, I think he's definitely going to be a dude. And I feel better about this. Look, you haven't found the Tyler Anderson yet, right? Because Noah Blistergaard hasn't been that guy. He has, unfortunately, just really, hopefully has a good start tonight. But he has, we're not supposed to use profanity on the show, but, he has been the B word, a bust so far. That can change, right? But
hey, Linda,
they haven't
you
found
a bust.
And I think that can change. I don't think he's a lost cause yet, but I do think the fact you got these 4 guys and the upside of Dustin May. I think the one thing this rotation lacked in the postseason was a guy that has high velocity, was a guy that can intimidate hitters. And I think you're going to see the swing and miss go up from Dustin May. I mean, his only problem is his stuff, the spin rate is so high that he works in the zone that he does get soft contact.
Yeah,
but
that's what he's going for. I mean, we saw the interview that Kershaw did with Joe and Oral on the in Dustin's Friday start, I believe it was. That's what he goes for. He's not really going for the punch. And if you're getting quick outs, soft outs, the fact that you're able to get another one of these guys going 6, 7, maybe 8, if you really try to push it a little bit, it's what this team needs. And both D-May, calling him Dusty now, Dusty May, and our guy Tony Gonsolin, friend of the show, coming off the mound. Yeah, I got some little bit of bravado coming off the mound, some cockiness. I love it.
That little skip he does.
Love it when there's cockiness.
No, he's such an intimidating. The thing about Dustin May is he really carries himself to an A standard. I mean, one thing that stood out to me was when he was in the dugout and he was an out away, a strike away of 7 Shuddy, he was pissed. I mean, he was pissed when he gave up that double and to Kim, and he went in the dugout and he was pissed. He was furious and he was cussing out loud audibly. And that shows me as a guy who he is not happy with, oh, you went out there and had a good start. No, he wants to be the best. I think he won't be satisfied with his career unless he's a number 1 or 2 starter. And that is who you need. And also, too, I saw on Twitter earlier, I think it was Juan Toribio, who tweeted out that Walker Buehler,
through today,
Toribio,
right?
Through a bullpen session today.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not expecting him to come back and give you a 6 solid, but the fact that he, I think, is trending towards, at the very least,
He's becoming a September option.
And this is a guy who's plug and play. I mean, this is a guy that there's a lot of pitchers out there that you might worry about them dealing with the process of coming back from a second TJ. Walker Buehler is one of the smartest baseball minds there is. No one's going to work harder than him. So you factor all of that, and I'm a guy who's always in the market for starting pitching. If everyone stays healthy, I like the way this rotation is headed.
Doug not going for a starting pitcher trade? This is
I'm selling.
This is wild, man. I never thought I'd see the day. We've been doing.
You can never have no starting
You and I
pitching.
have been working together now for what, 4 years? Different projects, but now working together on this show for the last year.
All right, screw it. Give me Dylan Cease.
No,
Give me
no,
Cease.
no.
Give me Dylan Cease.
I don't want Dylan Cease.
No.
I
Give me
don't
Dylan
want
Cease.
Lucas Giolito. I want Doug McCain to buy in on this Dodger pitching, because guess what? If one of these guys doesn't work out, we've talked about it a whole bunch. Who do you have? You got Gavin Stone. At some point in our lifetime, we're going to see Ryan Pepio throw a baseball again on the big league mound. Michael Grove wasn't bad when he wasn't sick, which he was sick for most of the start of the season. We're good. And who did we not mention? Robert Miller. Miller time, Bobby. Another option. We're good. We, the Dodgers here, are good. They don't need to go out and get a pitcher. And that is a massive benefit for the old prospect pocketbook.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have to part ways with prospect capital.
Right now, they don't.
Right now, it all depends
you
on
lose
health.
2 guys, then all of a sudden you're in a bad spot.
Yeah, it all depends on health. But right now, as I look at the depth and the possibilities that they do have and just the emergence of some of these younger guys. And to me, the big question was, how would Tony Gonsolin look when he returned? And yeah, I definitely think that this starting rotation right now, I mean, just look at the last 15 games. I mean, they have the second best ERA in all of Major League Baseball at 2.63. So if they can continue this against some stacked lineups coming up pretty soon, I'm looking at that Braves series. I'm looking at that Tampa Bay Rays series. Yeah. If they perform through that. Also, Julio Urias, this guy is pitching with a different fire in the last 3 games. I mean, it is a mindset thing with Julio. I'm telling you, I saw with these eyes him run up those stairs like he was Rocky, right? Yeah. And he said, you know what? There's a contract here. You motivated him.
I motivated him. I called him a gordito, and he started running.
Clint out here bullying guys into Cy Young wins.
I will say that I think there's a fair bit of inspiration from old Flaco Gonzalez coming back up, because Victor put in some work over the last 2 years,
man,
to lose the panza, and he's shoving, and I think Julio's like, okay, I got to do better.
I like it. I like Julio whenever he screams into the glove. Is like one of my favorite things. During the game. He's like, ah, you're like, oh yeah.
No, I thought he was saying like, the bad word, but he actually, I think he just sneezed. Was it? No, I'm just playing.
I was like, wait, what?
No,
also, I wanted because you mentioned Dustin May kind of getting robbed a little bit. In my opinion, he had the third out on that Hassan Kib double.
Yeah,
it was a bad first step, a bad read. Got twisted around a couple times. Trace Thompson, and honestly, you mentioned Cody Bellinger. I've seen some plays over the last week and a half, 2 weeks in center field that these are plays that got to be made at this level by these guys. Anything on the kind of, I don't know if it's missteps. It's just not a perfect. If we're trying to be nitpicky here about it.
Yeah, I mean, the one that stands out was, we're talking about James Outman. I think Outman has shown that he has the arm, he has the athleticism, but occasionally, it's 2 arms. Yeah, definitely. He has there's the athleticism, but I think that it's the reads. Sometimes the reads off the bat. Sometimes you'll see, like when he was in Milwaukee, I mean, certain plays where he takes a few steps in, he should have taken a different angle. We saw against the Padres last week where he took a bad angle at that first inning with Julio Urias, right? I mean, he should have made that play. So, yeah, I think for him, like he said on the show, adjusting to Major League ballparks, adjusting to reads off the bat. But I still think as a whole, when you look at it, this is a guy that has the ability to play that position. So I'm not overly concerned, but it hasn't been crisp, that's for sure. And also, Clint, how about Mookie Betts? I expected, hey, this is a guy who hasn't played shortstop at the big league level for his entire career. I expected an error, but I didn't think it was going to be a throw that missed 15 feet off the line.
That's pretty bad.
I love the accountability, though. It's like, my bad. So, yeah, and then you look at the you look at Max Muncy at third base. You don't feel great about that. Miguel Vargas, every now and then, he's still learning the position. But learning is a part of the process, and he's doing a great job at it.
Doug McCain throws Miguel Vargas under the bus.
Miguel Vargas is my favorite player of all time. Okay,
we know.
No,
we see your Twitter feed.
No, but by the way, just a little update. We do still have seats available on the Miguel Vargas hype train, so they're filling up fast. I'm the conductor.
How much are the tickets?
They're free. They're filling up. Yeah, you can come see. It's a free show.
Man.
Defensively they haven't looked their best, but I still think this team. Look, I like Miguel Rojas made some really nice plays over the weekend that really kind of helped things out. I mean, how about the double play by Julio Urias where he's like, F it, I'll do it myself.
That was pretty big. And that's where he got the
Yeah, I know he was definitely frustrated.
That's what he said. He said,
let's go.
We're bouncing all over the place in your favorite things, because if you get Doug talking, like Doug freeballing in conversation, y'all gonna be here a minute. If you want to see that, you watch him add another extra 20 minutes of the Lakers show that he did earlier today. But Swoosh asked, I wanted to get your thoughts on it. And this one's definitely way out there, but Swoosh asked odds of Buehler coming back in August.
In August, I would say unlikely. He had that surgery August 23rd, so you're looking at a 12-month recovery.
Second,
that's not going to happen. But I think late September, we'll see how he's feeling in October. I think he's hungry to return. So, yeah, I would rule out. And also, too, this team, they just tend not to rush guys back. By the same token, we saw them bring back Dustin May last year, and he ended up having a back injury. We saw him, Tony Gonsolin, they didn't have him pitch until, he got that one start, and then he pitched in the postseason, and he didn't look right. But for my second thing that I like.
Wait, so you're telling me that we can accuse the Dodgers of being Russian? Okay, sorry.
I like that one.
That's
a good one.
Just go.
You got to have the sounds ready. So, yeah, my.
Wow.
No.
Producing the producer.
No,
he said you're a failure.
I didn't say that at all. He's the glue. He is the MVP. He's the glue of this show. The Mookie Betts.
I'm going to take that personally.
No.
I'm asking for a trade.
I just did that for me because I felt uncomfortable. I needed something to break the silence.
I know. It's so good. Go ahead.
Okay, so.
Ask Born if he's hiring.
Second thing that I really like is not just the bullpen, but the lefties coming out of the bullpen. There was all this concern about Alex Vesia, who he struggled mightily, and rightfully so, absolutely. He has put together 4 really nice appearances down in AAA, but when you look at guys like Justin Brule, like the aforementioned Victor Gonzalez, like Caleb Ferguson, who they bring in a big spot, he gets his first save of the season from the left side. I mean, Justin Brule, no one's talking about Justin Brule. He's basically doing what Evan Phillips does, but as a lefty.
Yeah,
with that cutter,
that nasty sweep and cut. He took some strides this year.
Absolutely, he's taking some strides. And I think, too, going back to Victor Gonzalez, I mean, he's throwing that sinker 71.7% of the time. The slider only 17.7% of the time. In 2021, it was at 55.3%, and the slider was at 44.7%.
You look at that changeup coming along, though.
Yeah,
he's throwing that changeup, 10, 12% of the time now or something like that. And with that, it's throwing off the slide. I just wrote an article about it. So check it out, DodgersNation.com. But the slider's getting, and the sinker, way more swing and miss because of that nasty changeup.
Yeah, no, that changeup has definitely been a difference maker. And I think, too, just the overall command of the fastball, the way he's locating it on the corners, the bottom of the zone, setting up that slider, it's really a treat to watch him pitch. And I just love the fact that Victor Gonzalez said, you know what, enough's enough. He hired a chef. He hired a cook. He hired a trainer. I mean, this guy, he made his way back to the show, and he's made the most of his performance, of his opportunity. And I think, too, you look at the bullpen, they're one of the reasons why this team struggled early on. But like their starting pitching, they've been fantastic in this last 15-game stretch. So I love the lefties coming out of the pen right now, and I think when you couple that with Brusdar Graterol, didn't have his greatest appearance on Saturday, but he's looked so much better this year. Evan Phillips is doing Evan Phillips things. Yeah. And I said he should be an all-star. I still feel like Evan Phillips, get that all-star hype ready for him. Even if he's not going to be among the league leaders in saves, he's one of the most valuable relievers in the game. So, yeah, I think they could use one more piece. I'm still looking for the Chris Martin piece, maybe another high-velocity guy, a guy that can go out there and miss bats. And a guy that, too, is a contingency plan if Huddy doesn't come back. But still, I love this pen right now.
I was going to say, that also could be a guy that's already here. If it is a Daniel Hudson, if it is an Alex Reyes, if it's not going to be Jimmy Nelson, but let's just say if. Or maybe it's a Bobby Miller.
Yeah, Bobby Miller, yeah. No, he's definitely has ups and downs, but still, like, he's a guy that could be a weapon. But here's the last thing I really liked, and I want your opinion on this because you've seen all these great Dodger teams throughout the years, and what is usually
the really bad ones,
and some really bad ones for sure. And when you juxtapose this team to that Padres team that is so dependent on their 1 through 4, I think one thing I love about this team and something that's really starting to become their identity is you got different guys stepping up in different games. We saw the Friday game. It's the two top dogs, Freddie and Mookie hitting home runs. And then Saturday, JD Martinez, he hits a big 3-run home run. Who gets the save? Caleb Ferguson. So that is when you see these Dodger teams have success throughout the years, is different guys on different days, and that's how you put together so many wins. Because even the great players, the Mookies, the Freddies, they can't get it done every single day. That's just not the nature of Major League Baseball. It's a sport where you fail more than you succeed.
Absolutely.
So that's what I love about this team. And then James Outman earlier in the year carrying this team. Miguel Vargas starting to pick up the power. Max Muncy carrying this team for weeks. I think that's why I'm so confident about this team, is because it doesn't have to be Freddie every night. It doesn't have to be Mookie every night or Will Smith. Different guys are given their opportunities, and they're making the most of it. I mean, even David Peralta had a walk-off early in the year.
Yeah, you're seeing DP. You're seeing Will Smith do his thing. You're seeing, you already mentioned Vargas, but even Michael Busch coming up and playing a part in a win. It's a good-looking amalgamation of dudes.
No, for
not
sure.
Not guys, not boys. These are dudes.
They some straight dudes, man. And I do
Jason
think
Hayward.
Yeah, Jay
Hay Love in there.
I mean, you can just kind of go. I mean, everyone pretty much. I mean, even Trace Thompson had the 3 home run game. No, I'm just playing. I tried. I'm trying.
That's April Fool's Day, bro.
Yeah, so
I'm just saying.
That's definitely what I like the most from this team, and I just think that you're looking at the great teams around the league are teams that have the depth, that have different guys, and not just guys in the lineup. You also have bullpen pieces. You have starters that are going up, and yeah, I definitely feel good about that. Now,
you got some comments. I'm a little far back, unless I interrupted you, which I probably did. Are you good?
No, you're good.
All right, because I wanted to throw the comments. I have them a little further back here, but when we're talking about the Miguel Vargas train that you are the conductor on, Rebecca said the Vargas train is almost leaving though, and if you wait too long, you're gonna have to jump on the bandwagon instead. So get a ticket soon. And as you heard, they're currently free. Francisco is on the Vargas train. We got some trade little things in here. More so, Crypto Bill says Cartaya will not be traded. He says Smith and Cartaya are going to be the future catcher DH combination, and I don't know if they're going to do that with Diego. I think these dudes are guys that need to be starting catchers on a ball club somewhere. I just hope to God the Dodgers find a way to extend Will Smith before next season or something like that. Roy Estrada is still concerned about Muncy playing third base. He's making most of the plays to him, but love Max. He's not a championship defensive asset at third base. He is gonna be the guy though. That's what they have right here. Angel Swole, is Ohtani still a major priority? Douglas.
I think it's absolutely a major priority for this organization. I think this organization is going to go all in on him. I think, like Buster Olney told us, He's probably unlikely to be traded this year, but still, I mean, you owe it to yourself to go after him in free agency. So I don't think that's changing at all. But hey, I mean, you still have Julio Urias you could go out there and sign. So I definitely think they're going to go all in on Ohtani. But hey, guess what? We're focused on this season. And I think this organization, I think it's got to be a breath of fresh air to them, where you haven't heard as many Ohtani rumors in the last few weeks. I mean,
you haven't been doing the videos.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I got one. The funny thing is, actually, I literally have one dropping tomorrow about what Kylie McDaniel said about the GM's poll. But yeah, I think, look, these teams out there, these players, the Freddies, the Mookies, the Kershaws, players that are legends in the game that want to compete for another World Series title, that have so much fuel on the fire after what happened and trying to prove themselves after what happened last season, they want to go for it this year. So if Ohtani isn't available, if he's not going to be moved, I think you want to focus on how do you improve this year's team. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's Shohei Ohtani. He is literally a once in a sport. He's a transcendent player. What he does from a marketing standpoint, what he does from the fact he's a Cy Young Award winning potential pitcher and an MVP winning player. I mean, yeah, of course you have to go for Shohei Ohtani. And look, I said it. What did I say in the offseason? I said, guys, you're going to forget about the uneventful offseason of 2022 when the Dodgers signed Shohei Ohtani in 2023. And I still firmly believe that. I still think Shohei Ohtani, in my heart of hearts, is going to be a Los Angeles Dodger.
You know, last offseason, Trey Turner had the video put together, John Hamm narrating it. There's Shohei's video.
Oh, yeah.
Did I mention he hits for power?
He slides.
He
has power.
He can
Did
throw.
I mention he can hit for power?
He has the
Did I
best
mention he hits for power?
player.
Just play that.
He's a great guy.
Shohei's agent. Shohei. Make that.
Shohei the way.
Show me the money. Show me the way.
money. Shohei the way to LA.
Shohei.
A little cut more in the comments here. Katie in the stream. Katie, good to see your name. Haven't seen you for a while. Says it's going to be good to get Gavin and Walker back in the lineup. Hey, if we're looking ahead, 2024, Gavin Lux, Walker Buehler, Shohei Ohtani. That's a pretty good starting three for your roster. And hey, guess who else all going to be there? Is you got Will Smith. You got Freddie Freeman. You got Mookie Betts. Go back-to-back championships right there. I think I already did that one. Seth Gribble says Vigon looking strong, or Vigo looking sharp is what I should say. Sideways. Oh, yeah, but he's got the sideways hat, too. I always appreciate a good sideways hat. Shows a character.
I like it, too.
As long as they're not doing the,
Yeah.
Shout out Fernando Rodney. Anyway.
Yeah,
You got anything else?
Let me use Fernando Rodney. We got... Diane Schroeder has a super chat. We're going to read that one.
Oh. You're telling me we got a super chat?
Doug, why don't you read it? Doug, why don't you read it?
I'm illiterate.
No, it's too
I'm
late.
illiterate.
It's too late, Doug.
Hey.
Anyways.
Hey, this is his show. He just hosts it.
Says, thank you to Petco Park management for putting up that meme of Kirsch. It set us on fire. They look like the classless people they are. So now we're going to reverse it, and we're going to get Cody's take on that. Because I was the one who read it.
Oh,
I didn't want to. I
like
hear
that.
it. I was
You like
waiting
that?
for you.
You like that?
I do like that. I agree
what
with
do you
Diane.
think? What do you
I
yeah.
agree with Diane. Like we've talked about this plenty enough. When you mess with the baseball gods, you mess with the god of LA. Doug is the king of LA.
The king of LA.
But Kershaw is the god of LA, and when you mess with the god of LA, that's what happens.
You're a big social media
really
guy.
like that.
If you saw them posting it,
uses
would
it.
you have run up to them and say, you can't do this?
Like if I was a part
Yeah,
of the
if you were part of the
Padres,
Padres.
I would. I think honestly, it's interesting because I think if you were part of the social team and you saw that, wouldn't you be like, who decided to like put that up? Because obviously it wasn't like, I'm sure it was not a group decision. All of them were like, hey, let's do it. Like there had to be somebody be like, why the f did we do that?
There was not a
Exactly.
think tank. That was somebody. I don't think it was one rogue. Employee. There was a few people.
But it was clearly not a group group decision. It was
Did you guys happen to see? I don't know if either of you guys follow Dodgers at Dodgers social media superstar Sujo, but she recently did shout out friend of the show. She recently did like I'm flying IG story AMA or whatever, and somebody asked like, what goes into making the decisions you guys do on social media. They're like, everything we do is thought out meticulously, whether it's something we post or don't post. And yes, we see everything you guys post, whether it's a winning streak or a losing streak. We're seeing your crap.
Yeah, like what if they never beat the Dodgers again?
Like, how do you have an organization where it's like that hey guys, I found a meme on Twitter. I'm going to put it on the board.
Yeah. That's what good organizations are. It's a whole collective, effort.
Yeah.
Effort. That's what I'm about. But thank you, Diane. Appreciate the super chat. Trace Outman season. Now he's Trace Outman season. 2023 says, Clint, stop the Trace slander. No, I can't. I'm sorry. It's done. We're gone. So you're gonna need to find a new first name. Who can we replace him?
He likes fringe guys.
I don't think we ever actually got back
Johnny
to
DeLuca.
Talking about Johnny DeLuca. All right, let's unblue ball. Let's finish him off. Johnny DeLuca. And Andy Pages called up to AAA. Is that the writing on the wall for Trace Nathan Thompson? By the way, TNT, great nickname that you can't use.
Yeah, no, I think it's a couple things. I think it's one, because they've earned it, because they're raking, because they performed well. Also, two, last Monday's show, I said that was a possibility. I said I look for them to get promoted, and once that happened, the pressure is really on. And then two, I just think that you really have to look ahead. You have to have some protection in the event you want to go that direction. And I think Johnny DeLuca is the one that really interests me. I've been pretty much obsessing about the idea of him maybe getting an opportunity in the last 48 hours because... No, because look,
all in.
I'm pretty all in though. Look at this: a 1364 OPS versus lefties, 883 OPS versus righties. Also, too, I think Pages is different. I think Pages is he's definitely raked against lefties. There's no question about it. They're both outfielders, but
he's actually down this year against lefties. But
he is down a little bit.
He crushed him last year.
But I think he's one of those guys. He to me feels like when you look at his age, when you look at his potential upside that you could sell to other teams, he feels like someone who's a part of a package where you include other prospects if you're going to go that route. Whereas DeLuca, he's the guy that he's matured, right? He's an older guy. He played college. He almost reminds me a little bit of James Albin in the fact that you went to college and you're not that prospect that's really emerging young in your career. So I like DeLuca as a possibility because, the reality is this, man. If you put DeLuca in the offense today, right, against a left-handed pitcher, I would probably bet on him having more success than Trace Thompson against a left-handed pitcher, right? I mean, even though we don't see last year Michael Grove was the first time that Friedman had promoted someone from Double-A to the big league level, but still, I mean, if you look at the PCL, lots of, very homer happy, very offense happy. So DeLuca is a very interesting name. And look, the reality is we're early in the season where if you're going to DFA a guy, you're not going to replace him with someone on the trade market right now. And they've gone to the Golden Goose, and it's bared fruit. It's materialized. So Outman's been a success. Vargas has been a success. I think it was a really good year for the reputation of the farm system.
It really
is. It took a little bit of a hit last year where we didn't see those guys come up. I mean, a few years ago, we thought McKinstry was going to be a guy, and he wasn't. And now we're starting to see that next pipeline of guys looking like they're going to be real contributors for years.
Yeah, the Dodgers were in the lab with a pen and a pad finding these next dudes, whether it be international, whether it be through the first-year player draft, and they found some dudes, whether they be contributing to the big league club currently or contributing via trade like we've seen in the past. Hey, we go back a couple of years. This is also an organization that traded away Josiah Gray, Kaber Ruiz, two guys that are actually doing pretty dang well. I haven't looked at Kabert's numbers. I don't know how he's doing. I know he got the nice big, he got the 8-year bag from Washington, but those were guys that were there. They know who to keep. They know who to trade. They've already traded Pages once before. It just didn't work out. Shout out Artie Moreno. I'd be happy to see either of those guys, to be honest, because there's some intriguing boys down there. But honestly, I would just rather see anybody but Trace Thompson in the lineup against a left-handed pitcher because I think what they're doing is cruel to Trace Thompson.
Yeah, definitely. Look
for my article on the LA Times today.
I think at some point, like I said earlier in the show, you're going to have to rip off that Band-Aid. But, yeah, I'm definitely high. I'm definitely living.
He's high, guys.
I'm definitely living La Vida DeLuca. I definitely want to see DeLuca Skywalker. Okay, I'm working on it, guys.
It's not the best one.
It's coming. DeLuca Magic.
We got to cringe from
You're
the audience.
selling on that
DeLuca Magic? Okay. But, yeah, no, look, the basically – The takeaway from this, though, is the Dodgers, they have dudes coming up in the pipeline that can contribute this year, and I definitely think that is a part of the plan. Unless, of course, they don't perform at the AAA level and they struggle there, then you don't consider it. But right now, I mean, I might like Clint Pasillas at the plate against a lefty better than Trace Thompson at the moment. So, yeah, it is the end year. I think it's possible. But, yeah, let's see what else we got.
No, let's move into looking ahead. We got some baseball games about to be played. You got the Dodgers, 26-15 Dodgers, #1 in the National League, #1 in your hearts, and #1 in the NL West. They're going up against the Minnesota Twins, and first place Twins, by the way, 23-18. Old friends in town. Joey Gallo, anybody? Joey Gallo?
Eating sugar.
Es papa.
I remember he hit a home run against the Twins last year.
By the way. Very excited to see Kenta.
Only you would remember that.
Yeah, he's
the Gallo homer.
You know, against the Twins last year, though. With
I know. I was saying only you would remember that.
Oh.
You think what kind of? I know he's hurt. Maeda-san is hurt. He's on the IL. I don't think he's pitching in this series. But I'm really hoping they put him on the board. He was there. He's already at Dodger Stadium today, greeting old friends and all that. First time he's been to LA since 2019, since the 2019 postseason.
Oh.
What kind of reception do we think Maeda-san gets?
I think the real ones, they definitely should give him a lot of love.
Dude was a freaking beast for this club, and he did everything, and he did it like so well for a long time. So I hope you people really appreciate Kenta Maeda while he's back here in LA for a sec.
I think we should apologize to Kenta Maeda for not using him correctly in the 2019 NLDS because he was electric that series, and had he been using that situation, I would have felt really good about winning Game 5. So sorry if I brought up some bad memories,
Listen,
but
man, if we're talking 19, we could do another hour-long show, which I know you'd be thrilled to talk for another hour about all this. But you know, I'm just saying, Dave tried too hard to make a moment for Kershaw, and it backfired miserably.
Man.
And we don't like to talk about that. That's like Bruno, bro. We don't talk about that. I never even saw the movie, but I know the kids talk about it. All right? Am I selling? Nah,
that was good. We don't talk about Bruno.
Another important friend in town, Carlos Correa.
Yeah, my guy, Carlos.
Hey,
Why didn't you tell us? You could have came over to the studio.
we
could have
coulda had
talked.
him in
Carlos,
here.
boo. Carlos Correa, his paper mache leg with the fractures and the fibulas. But
Hey, he signed the biggest contracts in all of human history this offseason. He had 4 multi-year deals because he had initially from the Twins, and then the Gigantes, and then the Mets, back to the Twinkies. Man, that's what, a few billions of dollars.
yeah, I call them blunt players because they get passed around, you know? I mean, look, I will never forgive Carlos Correa. I will never forgive him because had he signed with the Giants, I would have gotten all my free agency predictions correct. Okay, so because of that, I'm still gonna
Mickey Mouse one.
I'm still gonna be mad about that. But look, he's gone off to a slow start, Clint. I mean, he's hitting 207 and 89 OPS plus, 280 OBP, slugging 407. So he's gone off to a slow start.
He's gotten off to a terrible start. The fans in Minnesota are booing his ass, and he says, "Yeah, I agree with them."
But do you think? I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think the boo meter is going to be at?
This one goes to 11.
Oh, it's still going to be, because it's still high for Machado, and it was really high for Fernando Tatis Jr. So, yeah, I agree with you.
Plus, just the how much he was back in the headlines this offseason with almost signing with the Giants, being a Giant for, 13 days, along with Arson Judge, for being a Met for a week and a half or whatever it was. He's going to get booed pretty hard.
Shout out to Carlos,
in about an hour and a half.
He gave us some content.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a guaranteed. You got to post that. Anytime
honestly,
it gets booed, that's the gift that keeps giving.
When I woke up from...
I meant when we were trying to start, when we were oh, should the Dodgers sign Carlos?
Yeah. I mean, I think it was
I
a valid...
honestly really cannot wait until Julio's offseason. Doug is going to put out 16 videos a day.
Put 16 bangers.
Yeah.
Julio...
Because everybody's going to be in on him. And
I made
rightfully
a Savannah
so.
Bananas Photoshop of him on, just Every team you could imagine, but yeah, no, I think they should have almost a public service announcement after they do the national anthem. Like, please, fans in attendance, please remember to boo Carlos Correa every time he goes to the plate. Just so everyone knows to kind of.
Everybody got the memo.
Yeah,
everybody got the memo. But
pitching matchups,
you got Noah Syndergaard happening. We'll say tonight. Finger falling off. He's got the super glue on there. He's throwing with the old Rich Hill thimble. They say things are going to be okay. It's going to hold up. The Dermabond was applied early enough. I personally feel that if he gets through 4 innings, it would be impressive. But I'm ready to be wrong. I was wrong last Friday about Dustin May. I said stinker, and he went out and proved me wrong bigly. But he goes up against former Marlin, Pablo Lopez, one of the best win-win trades in recent memory with Luis Arraez going to the Miami. But tomorrow, Kershaw and a very big dude named something called a Bailey Ober. He's 6'9", so that's a large amount of man. And then Dustin May, Sonny Gray, afternoon baseball at Dodger Stadium. That guy will be there.
Yes, sir.
That guy will be there being professional, but also probably going on Instagram Live in places he shouldn't be. What are the things you're looking at in this series?
So I think the first thing I'm looking at is Noah Syndergaard. I mean, that is the biggest storyline early on. How will he perform? I think the pressure is starting to mount. But his ERA at home versus on the road, he performs so much better at Dodger Stadium. But he has to navigate his way through a lineup that has been explosive of late. They beat the Cubs 16-3. They beat the Cubs 11-1. I mean, so they put up a lot of runs. They've kind of exploded in the last few games. So how will he fare against that lineup? So definitely looking for Noah Syndergaard. Can he at least give you 5-6 innings of 2-3 run ball? I mean, that would be an absolute win for him. Can he pick up a little more swing and miss, get some more punch outs, and just kind of build some confidence? I mean, I think his confidence is really at a low point, so you would love to see him go out there and find a way to have some success and put together a start that he can build on. I think if you look at some little mechanical tweaks, you know that they have looked at every single possible way to optimize him on the mound, and we'll see if he puts that into play. So I'm looking for that curveball tonight. I mean, where you see some curveball, how that changeup looks. So hopefully he can go out there and have a nice start. I think Pablo Lopez is a guy who's been featured in a good amount of our videos when he was on the block. So he's pretty decent.
Up there.
I think a 3.47.
It was Pablo and Luis Castillo.
Luis Castillo.
I had played.
He got traded?
Got to play. Oh, wow.
Doug still misses Luis Castillo from
I
time
do.
to time.
But yeah, no, the thing about Lopez, he got off to a really slow start, and then in May, he's really picked it up. He allowed 2 runs against the White Sox.
Pretty nasty.
Only 1 run against the Padres, but then again, I mean, that's not saying that much. But yeah, I think, if you look at the chase rate, you look at the average exit velocity is inducing a lot of soft contact. So it's going to be a very interesting matchup today for a pitcher the Dodgers were actually interested in trading for. And then Kershaw, I mean, we'll see. I think Gavin Stone is a possibility, or
he's around.
He's around. Okay.
I think he's around. He was scratched. He was supposed to start on Sunday. He was scratched from that start. He did make start at AAA earlier in the week. I think he went 4 1/3, allowed 2 runs. He's in weight. I think he gets Kershaw start next. But also, I mean, Sarah Morris here brings up or just makes a statement that honestly is a good topic. Real quick, it's Syndergaard. She says Syndergaard needs to be on the IL. Do you think Thor pitches well enough or holds up well enough? Do you think he's making his next start?
So first part of that question, do I think he should be on the IL? I think if he can pitch, you have to let him pitch, because I think his biggest value right now is, we gave him $13 million. Let's see how many innings he can eat. Let's get each inning that we can out of this guy. And let's see how much you can take the pressure off the bullpen. You don't want to tax the pen. You want to have some of these starters pitch earlier than you were expecting. So could he go on the IL? The reality with a guy that has pitched as much as he has, who is a veteran, you can pitch, you can go on the IL and you can analyze everything. You can throw bullpen sessions. You can view footage. You can work with Dr. Pryor and Connor McGinnis and these guys. But until you put it in play, until you implement the adjustments in game action, you're not going to see the results. So I think Syndergaard, who's a creature of habit, who's always a stickler for his routine, he wants to play in games, and I think he's a guy that you just have to let him figure it out on the mound as long as he's healthy enough to do so. So I wouldn't put him on the IL. I mean, it's a blister, like you said. Thankfully, Rich Hill a few years ago helped this team find out how to manage blisters. They had Walker Buehler, so there's that. And also, too, I want to tell you, I mean, Sonny Gray has been balling this season. He's been fantastic.
He's not a Yankee. Of course he's balling.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Yankee curse. So that, to me, is the most intriguing pitching matchup because Sonny Gray, he seems like he's always pitching in L.A. on the afternoon start.
Sunny day, Dustin May. What do you say?
Hey. Yeah.
Also, I want to shout out. We got a $1 super chat.
So
for no reason other than just good faith.
Oh, she said keep Doyers in first place.
Oh, let's go. Thank you. It was Rebecca, right?
Yeah,
Rebecca.
we'll do that.
Let's
Keep
go.
getting these dubs, and we'll make that
Appreciate
happen.
you.
So yeah,
Love
is it
every
going to be
super chat.
May
They're all
or
like our children?
yeah? What? Like Buster said. Like Buster said. Yeah. Is it going to be May or is it going to be Gray? But yeah, 1.39 ERA.
Listen, I was there. You didn't need to add.
Oh, I was going to add, and then you guys went on this. Okay.
Sorry.
You know what?
Sorry,
Forget
somebody
it.
give us money. And that's more important than your riffs. Okay. You got a whole post-game show to yourself tomorrow.
No, but
Tune in.
Yeah, I mean, look, the reality too, Clint, this is a first-place team. It's a first-place team in the AL Central. It should be a tough opponent. Anytime Carlos Correa is in the house, you are going to get an electric atmosphere. So, yeah, I think if this team can continue to build, you need to win as many of these home games as you possibly can because this team is going to go out on the road. You're playing a tough series against the Rays. You're playing that Cardinals team who is in last place, but we know it's always difficult to win in St. Louis for whatever reason. They're going to get up. So, yeah, I look for them. Hopefully they take 2 out of 3 and get off to a really good start, win their 6 straight series in a row. But, yeah, I think hopefully this offense continues to produce and the pitching holds up. But Syndergaard's going to be the big one. And Clayton Kershaw, I'm looking for a big start. I think there'll be some emotions there, him going out there pitching for his mom's memory there. So I think that's definitely going to be one to remember for sure.
And he might need to put the team on his back again if Syndergaard can't get past like 1 or 2 or 3 innings. You got something for me, Kimo Sabi?
Yeah, we have another super chat.
Yo!
Now the world 138 for 199 said I had to one up Rebecca. Haha.
Let's go.
Man, let's go. 1 up to $1 billion.
Yeah, let's go. Keep one upping each other.
Appreciate
Seriously.
you guys very much as always. So
I will say though that I think it's funny that did you see what Carlos Correa said when he said I'd boo myself with the amount of money I'm making and I'm playing like that?
Yeah.
He's playing like he is during his Mets days, you know?
Carlos, come by this.
All right,
come
guys.
by the
Come
studio.
come visit.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
All right,
Carlos.
okay, can we get his Carlos Correa impression?
Hold on. First, I'm going to ask guys, drop your predictions in the comments right here in the middle. We want to read everybody's predictions, what we think we're going to do in this series. And let's just stick to this series. Wait, when do they play again? Where are they?
Thursday.
It will be a Thursday.
Friday, right? Friday.
they off
Friday.
Thursday?
They're off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay, so let's make it for the
4
full
game?
week.
Oh, my bad. It's Thursday.
We're gonna do the full week. 6 so 7 games worth of predictions.
Yeah, you gotta
today, gang. So drop your predictions for the next 7 games because you got Twins, and then they're flying to St. Louis to face the Cardinals. Unless I got that way wrong, but give us the most important impression of all time. Know the facts for us, Cody. Come on, you got
I'm not
this.
doing it.
You got this in your heart.
Unless Carlos is with me. Carlos, come by the studio. I'll act as Ken, and you can be yourself.
Again,
Boo.
if you don't know the facts, come on. Then you need to shut the
With a pinch runner.
pinch runner.
He had a chopper off my head. Anyways,
Beta, and now they're best friends.
There you go.
They're best friends. What am I looking for in this series? I'm going to throw that quickly out there because nobody asked me. A good time. Great time.
You're always a good time.
I'm looking for Dustin May to really step up and shove against Sonny Gray. What do you say if we go back there? All right, we got some predictions in here. Get your prediction ready, by the way. Sarah Morris is 4-3. Our friend Diane Schroeder says 5-2. We got Carnivorous Lunar Activity saying 5-2. Nando 390 says 6-9. You're not playing the game the right way, Nando. So I'm gonna tell your wife's boyfriend about that. Carl says 4-3. Osterberg in the stream, king of YouTube. 5-2. We got Carlos Villasenor saying 5-2. You look like you're trying to say words.
Yeah,
Noah says 5-2.
Yeah, we got some more comments right here. We got We got some more predictions. You guys lighten up this this comment section with predictions. Yeah, so we got
He wasn't ready.
we got 6-1 from Joe Mama.
Joe Mama.
We got 6 wins from Roy Estrada. We got Coach Charlie over on YouTube 5-2. David 4-3. I like this from Ventura. We got the White Pill says 7-0.
7.
Come on. We got
Lucky
Carlos
7.
5-2. We got Nick Morris.
Almost.
That was a terrible segue. We have another super
There
chat.
you go. There we go.
Hey, Cody's only allowed to speak when people pay him. You
Nick,
know this.
Nick Morris, $5 said, "Thanks for all the content, fellas."
Nicholas, we appreciate you, bud. Much appreciated. El Rojas is 3-1. It's not enough games, but I like it. It's a winning record. Willie says it's a 5-2 ratio, so I don't know how that works right there. Nickrone Sam says 4-3. 100% activity says I can't see Craig. That sounds like a you problem. Sorry, but I don't know how that works. Noah Ortega, earlier super chatter, says 7-3. That's too many games.
That works.
It's a total of 7, gang. I be stroking 7-0 Thug Life.
7-0.
What do you got? What's your record?
Man.
Because I'm gonna beat you to it. I'm gonna say 6-1.
You're going 6-1?
That's right.
I mean,
This is the most bullish I've felt about this team, so that means they're probably about to go 3-4.
I mean, you got 2 Syndergaard starts. You got the Saturday Fox game.
Shit.
You got a 4-game set. I was right last week. I think we go. Let's go 5-2. Let's go 5-2 for this week. Got that tough Twins team.
You got it written.
So let's go 5 deuce.
That's not. We'll get
5
it
deuce,
after.
but I will happily be wrong for 7-0.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
5-2.
5-2.
So he says 5-2. I got 6-1.
But let us know down below.
Seth Gribble says World Series, so I guess that's a thing. Victor says 5-2, and tomorrow's an 8-inning win for Kershaw, picking up win number 7 on the season. Hey, you got another super chat, Chief, specifically for Cody.
Shout out to
Huge
my guy,
day.
now the world 138, 199. More Cody. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Cody. We just solved World Cody. I think
Look,
that's how it
look,
works.
guys, it's your guys' show. I'm just hosting it.
Let's go.
He's just pushing the 1s and 7s. Trace Outman says that's what's in.
Oh, look at.
What do you got?
We got Trace. Oh, yeah. It says 100-0 Trace Outman.
well,
Got more people hating on Carlos Correa. Guys, give him a break. Yes, he's struggling, but the man is playing on one leg, okay?
fair.
He's playing on one leg. All right.
one leg and shattered glass.
And he's going to be a Dodger.
You know what? After much deliberation, I decided, because usually when I throw out the cure, people,
Yep.
yeah, they do well, but it comes from the deep down in my subcockal region. But I decided I'm going to start ending shows with the official Clint Cure each week or each episode and each edition of this stream. And we're all going to live it together, guys. And I'm going to tell you, it's not a cure. This is a continue because Mookie is going to keep going. He's going to keep putting together an impressive month of May, I think, over this next stretch of games. But I'm going to focus specifically on the 4 in which we will not be live streaming this because we'll be back on Friday. I think you're about to see Mookie drop 4 bombs in the next couple of days. Maybe he gets his first 3 home run game in a couple of years.
Wow, that would set a new
He's
record.
due.
Yeah, no, he's definitely locked in. Timely home runs, not just hitting home runs, but bombs that have changed the game. We saw Friday, we saw last week, we saw yesterday. By the way, can we get his mom's season tickets? Every time she's in the house, he's blowing her a kiss and hitting a bomb. So
She's spreading cheeks.
whatever that was pretty interesting. But
I mean, isn't that that's the move, right?
yeah, no, I think that's a
not open the door,
great pick. I mean, for me, it's not a cure. I don't even know if I'm asking for anything, but I think Freddie Freeman is going to continue. He looks so much better at the plate. I think he's going
that
to.
whole sequence.
Remember the Cardinals series last year? I mean, he was great on the road, so he loves hitting in St. Louis. But I like Freddie Freeman to have another big week and just look like that guy that we know he is, which is a superstar in the game.
That's Doug McCain, guys.
Fred,
Guys, thanks for hanging out with us.
Damn
we
it.
appreciate you as always. Find us on the internet for more Dodgers content. It is DodgersNation.com. That is literally, well, I guess the second best way. The best way is Super Chats if you want to support us
Yes,
somehow
sir.
directly. But honestly, the best way you can support us is by reading our content, watching our content. Everything you guys do means the world to us. But it really does. You guys are the best. Subscribe to Blue Heaven. If you don't watch us live, we got one more. Oh, man. If you don't watch us live, we are a podcast as well. We're on all your podcast mediums for free, so do check us out and subscribe on YouTube, youtube.com/DodgersNationTV. Hit the bell, leave a like, leave a comment on every video we've ever done, even the private ones. What you got for me, Cody?
Dude, baseball legend Bob Nightingale for $9.99 said, "Don't leave me."
Hey,
We can't leave Bob.
Hey, on the second half of the show, we're gonna preview the trade deadline. What do you think? Let's take.
I'm gonna text Bob right now and tell him thanks.
Shout out to Bob.
Shout out to Bob Nightingale.
I haven't talked to Bob since the winter
ask me
meetings
who's
we
the
hung
most
out.
famous person on my phone?
Who's the
Doug
most famous
McCain.
person?
It's Doug McCain,
You
king
know,
of
the,
LA.
you know the worst thing though, like when you guys, you know how it is. You try to call Doug and he doesn't answer, or maybe he answers you guys.
He answers
Wow.
I answer you.
Now.
Usually, sometimes I'm a big like if I get the call, I'll drop everything I do and I'll get in a call mindset. And I'll call you back right away. I'm
me.
a
You know
big
what he
call
says?
appreciate
If you
that.
want the dub, you gotta. Oh, I thought we were just
I
doing
know. I
Doug.
appreciate that. I very seldom answer the first call because it's like I'm not in your world right here.
Well, usually because it's usually Spectrum calling me to pay my bills. It's usually a
You
car
know about
insurance
facts,
company
guys,
wanting to.
I am real FRG on Twitter and Instagram. That guy's DMac_LA, the Crown Prince of Los Angeles. He's on Twitter. He's on Instagram. And he pays his Spectrum bill, we promise. He is the king of Los Angeles. Thank you for the comments, questions, and super chats. I love you all so much, maybe. Thanks for hanging with us. See you Friday. Bye.